All right, welcome to Core 105. We're going to start today's session with a standing windmill. So this is something from 101. It's an early test that we do. We're going to go ahead and stagger our feet. So feet are square, just scoot back about 3 to 6 inches with one foot. The foot that you scoot back, raise that arm up to the ceiling, straight up. Yep, and go palm facing, yeah, there we go. All right, so raising that up. Now you're going to take your front knee and bend it a little bit. Take your same side hand, reach down your inner thigh, reach as far as you can, and pause. Good. Make sure that this stays nice and straight. Don't let it fall back. Control there. Good. And come back to standing. Yep, good. And as you come back to standing, yeah, just keep it up. It's okay. And now we're going to switch. So switch the feet. Okay. So now, whatever foot is forward, that's the foot we're reaching towards. The back foot is the arm that's up. Reach towards that front foot. Kicking the hips to the side, reaching down, finding the floor, hold. And really try to open your chest away from that knee. There you go, good. And stand back up, keep that arm up, keep it up, keep it straight, there you go. Yes, so there we go, yep. So that's the key. As we're coming up, we want to keep this arm in line with this other arm. So as you stand up, we don't want it to drop to the side. We are going to go ahead and do 5 repetitions each side. To keep it simple, let's just stay on one side, do 5, and then switch to the other. So pick whatever foot you want to start forward. Whatever foot is forward, that's the foot you're reaching to. Here we go, 5 reps, hold for 1.
Oh, wait, hold on.
You're okay. Foot that's forward, yeah, perfect. No, you're good, yeah, that's up. And then inside that thigh, bend that knee, reach down. Excellent, hold for 2. And then keep that arm straight towards the ceiling as you reach up. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Yep, don't lose it. There, excellent. Good, yeah, good. 5 on one side, 5 on the other. Main points of performance here is that we want a straight line from middle finger to middle finger as we're reaching. And when you stand up, not to let that arm drop. Additionally, we don't want to have any excessive rounding of the upper back. We don't want to have a bunch of knee bend. We're not squatting these. There's a little bit of knee bend, but it's really a push from the hip. So we're stretching out our hamstrings, everything. We're doing 10 repetitions, 5 on each side. Good. And you have to really be active with this, thinking about spreading those fingertips apart, like you're trying to reach away from one another as much as you can. Yep, keep it bicep to ear. There you go. Yeah. And as you come up, you can think about the hand that's up. I want to keep this bicep as close to my ear as possible, and that's just going to help with the rotation of the shoulder. Very good. Notice their tempo, it's very slow and controlled. That is good. That's what we want for these movements. When we're doing sport, when we're working out, that's when we have high intensity. Right now, we're trying to teach our body control under tension. And that is done with time under tension, which is often at slow tempos just like this. Thank you, ladies. All right, next thing we're gonna do is some soft rolling. So we've done hard rolling in the past where we have an active knee to elbow. In this one, we're gonna be laying flat on the floor, acting as if you can't use your lower half. Your lower half is incapacitated. It doesn't work at all. Using our arms, we're gonna roll to one direction, turning our body over to our belly, and then rolling back. It's almost like an infant or a newborn learning how to roll, all right? So they're laying on their backs here. Join us at home, lay down on your back. Put both arms up overhead, okay? Your lower half should be paralyzed, okay? It's floppy, it's loose, nothing's happening there. We're gonna roll to me, so for you at home, roll towards your left side. And what you're gonna have to do is take your right arm and lift it off the ground and start to cross it over your body, pulling, because you wanna roll. Pulling as much as you can, taking your core and squeezing as you pull, reaching high and over, pulling. Eventually you'll get to a point where your hip bone crosses over and you flop. For a moment, you're gonna feel like, I'm not going anywhere. Yes, you are, just keep pulling. Fight yourself though, so you don't push with the other arm. So now we're laying flat and we have to get back to where we came from. So now they need to take the arm that they were just reaching with and same thing, lift it over their body, and we're trying to go back the other way. But don't push off this hand that's down. Just keep pulling and reaching, squeezing the abs. Don't push off the feet. Feet are just limp and eventually you'll flop. If you don't flop, that means your legs were too tight. If you have so much control of your lower half that they move super slow, that means you're flexing and using your lower half. It is so important and grossly overlooked to have control compartmentally within your body. Can I just control my lower half? Can I just control my upper half? And then we put them together when we perform in sport. So now we're gonna go ahead and go the other way. So we're gonna roll to the right side now. So we're taking our left arm, reaching over our body, reaching and pulling, squeezing the abs, pulling, using the head to look as well. You gotta reach with that hand. You gotta reach, you gotta reach. She might help herself a little bit with her feet because she's feeling kind of stuck. You may need to do that at first, but ideally just take your time. It could take you 30 seconds to roll over. That's awesome. That's 30 more seconds of tension that you were training your body with. They've made it over, so now we're gonna go back. So now we're using that left arm again, reaching over our body. Don't push with your right. Reaching, reaching, that's the sticking point. Keep pulling, just keep pulling, keep pulling. There you go, keep pulling. Good, look with the head, look with the head. That's it, boom. Excellent. That is soft rolling, all right? We're gonna go ahead and do one more repetition on each side. So let's go, keep going to your left. So going to the left, rolling over, pulling with that arm. And you kind of want to pull at a diagonal, and you want to look too, where your head goes, eventually your torso and your body will follow. Awesome. One more, keep going in that direction.
This way?
Yep, keep going left. Pulling, 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 flop.
My hair gets stuck.
Yeah. So at home, if you're like, what is going on? This is like super easy. I don't understand the point. You're cheating. If it's easy, you're cheating, all right? You're using your legs, you're using your hands. We cannot do that. All you get to do is pull and use your core. There's no blocking with the opposite arm, no pushing against the hand, no pushing with the butt or the glutes. We don't want to be doing any of that, all right? So now we're gonna go back the other way for 2 rolls. So they're reaching, their lower body shouldn't be helping. There you go. Keep reaching, almost like you're reaching up and over. Here we go, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. There you go, good. So like I've said before in past videos, if you need a little bit of assistance and you have to cheat a little bit, that's a starting point, all right? That's a starting point, but eventually we want to get to the point where we're not doing any of that. Keep pulling, don't push off the knee, good, lower body, just limp, look with that head, keep reaching, that a girl, your poor hair. Jeez, cut it off. Awesome, so soft rolling, great work. We're gonna go ahead and move to the wall now and do some more core exercises. All right, next movement here, wall dead bugs. So normally we do dead bugs on the floor. We're gonna add the component of pushing against the wall. So this ensures that the upper body stays active and you're even active through your shoulders. So they've set up themselves already and kind of tested it. You'll need to find a wall. Go ahead and put your hands up and over your head. Make sure you're square. So make sure you're, one hand's not here and make sure you're even. And you need to they have a little bit of elbow bend. We need a little bit of elbow bend so you can create pressure. If you're completely locked out, it's hard to create pressure because you're so far from the wall. So a little bit of elbow bend is okay. So give me all you got, pushing through the palms like you're trying to break the wall. Do you feel your shoulder blades push into the floor? All right, so shoulder blades are pushing the floor, actively into the wall. Tuck your knees up. So they're at 90 degrees, both knees, tuck them up, yep. So 90 degrees with the knees. Driving the low back into the ground, core is flexed and tight. And now we're gonna take one leg and reach down towards the ground and tap our heel to the floor, super slow. Maintain 90 degrees though. You don't have to go straight. So keep 90 degrees as you go down. Yeah, there we go. So we're holding that 90-degree angle as we tap. We're gonna do 20 taps. Driving through the wall, driving the abs down. That's fine, yep, low back into the ground. 10 taps on your right leg, 10 taps on your left leg. Their tempo is about 1 1,000, 2 1,000, touch, and 1 1,000, 2 1,000, touch, good. Try not to bang your heel into the floor. We're just lightly tapping that heel down. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, excellent tempo. Now, as you go down, you might feel as you reach the ground that your low back wants to come off the wall, off the floor. If that happens, don't go that low. Maybe you need to stop, go ahead and go down. Maybe you need to stop right here. And that's as far as you have control so that your core and low back stays pinned to the ground like we're asking you to do. So you need to be aware of your body and know where you're at. Make sure that you push your limits, but not too much that we're sacrificing form. Either of you lovely ladies counting?
I'm on 13.
Ooh, 13, all right, we got 7 left. There's 1, counting off your last 7 here, nice and easy. Now it's easy as you get tired to stop thinking about the wall. So make sure we're continually pushing into the wall the whole time, pinning that low back into the ground. Don't lose those checkpoints. And whether or not you alternated or did all one leg, all the other, does not matter to me. Just making sure that we're getting all 20 reps done. Done? Awesome. All right, next movement is going to be standing up against the wall. Last movement for today is going to be wall standing pelvic tilts. So we've talked a lot about pelvic tilts during this section where we're controlling our pelvis. You can do it seated, you can do it standing, you can do it laying down on the floor. Laying down on the floor is the easiest variation. This is a little bit harder, but we're going to try it out. All right, so you're going to stand, ideally heels flush to the wall. Now most of us can't handle that, so I'll give you about an inch or two. You can come inch or two heels off the wall. From there, you can put your hands kind of wide so you have a nice base and feel controlled. Our checkpoints are going to be back of the skull, flush against the wall. So you need to tuck that chin and give yourself a double chin. Checkpoint number 2 is going to be your shoulders, relax, shoulders pushed up against the wall. So you're pushing with your palms and drawing your shoulders back into the wall. So now we have contact, and then probably your hips or your butt is probably in contact with the wall right now. So what we're going to do is take our pelvis and squeeze our ribs towards our waistline, rounding our low back. And if I were to come push her, I just want to like push her low back into the wall, okay? That's what we're looking for. So that's what you want to try to feel. Now, if you can't feel that, go ahead and bend your knees a little bit, ladies. So when you bend your knees, that makes your torso more upright, and you have a little bit more control with the legs to really control that low back or that pelvic tilt. So if you need to, bend your knees. That'll give you more control. We're going to go through 20 repetitions, going one way, the other way, so 10 in each direction, just going through nice and smooth. So get set, checkpoints, head, relax your shoulders. There you go. Shoulders. And here we go. Round and push into the wall, driving that low back into the wall, and curve and pull that low back away. As we do this, try to keep the chest controlled so we're not flaring open. We're staying nice and tight, keeping contact, keeping that chin tucked. Feet are flat on the floor. My feet are flat. Good. 20 repetitions. We're going, again, about a 2-second one way, 2 second the other way. This should only take us about a minute to get these done. You may or may not feel that your back is actually getting flush to the wall, but the focus is on that we're trying. The wall is just a cue, it's a stimulus to say, do you feel it touching, or are you reaching for the wall that's right there? And eventually we will get there, the more and more you do this. Keep checking yourself, make sure shoulders are flush against the wall, pulling them back. There you go, good. Yeah, that's good. Nice job. So you should feel it a lot in your core because your core is connected and it's controlling those muscles and pulling them and then relaxing to push them. So it's like when you tilt this way, you feel your back muscles work. When you tilt this way, you feel your core muscles work. But the whole time we want that almost everything to be on, so we're nice and tight. Good? Okay. All right, that concludes our Core 105. Thanks for joining.